Oh, man, the water was just. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm on this again. That's in my house. Because it came, Harvey was weird. It came up from south and I thought the winds.
Can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am. You there?
Jennings, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Felicia?
Yes, we're good. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh. All right, guys. We are going to be looking over I don't have my cheat sheet, the budget for this next fiscal year. Not sure where to start, guys. This is my first time to.
On page 6 of the 18, the very bottom left, there's your fix this. After when you revenue, that's what the. Yeah, 30,700. First thing I looked at.
This is the proposed budget that Jennings prepared for it. Jennings, did you want to walk us through this? I don't look like he's on there anymore. Sorry, guys, like I was not prepared for this. Like I didn't know that I was posting this today. So yeah. Yes. Usually he walks us through the changes.
Call him and see if he can get him back.
You wanna call him and see if he's gonna pop back on?
If he dropped off.
This is utility. Just. Utility funds.
Hey, I don't show Jennings connected anymore.
You got it?
Yeah. Thanks. Okay.
And that's what this was supposed to be, no new revenue. And the increase is based on number of new houses come in as tax revenues.
Right.
Usually he'll let us know. That's
Where you told these numbers.
Did that one still? Was not your.
he added that in there as well.
He said today, since please on the. Business station 2. This year.
Next year and next year.
Yeah.
Hey, are you gonna hop on the Zoom? Are you gonna hop on the Zoom? Are you gonna get on the Zoom? Are you gonna attend the meeting? Okay. All right, so he's not attending.
She called him?
Yes. He's outside.
He's outside but not attending the meeting.
Yes, baby. Okay.
Connected.
Yeah, the fine Senate, yes, ask me.
Did any of y'all go over these numbers with him?
Not with him, because normally goes up at the meeting and we go over them in the meeting and look at the last year's budget with what the new items are in the budget. But,
Got an email about 3 o'clock with copies of all this, so I haven't had time to review.
Oh, there.
Alicia, while everybody's here, if y'all would like to just look at the police side while I'm here, I'd be happy to do that, so it's not a waste of time tonight.
that would be good. Can you go over that?
I'll be happy to.
If you don't mind, we
You
appreciate
got a
it.
copy here?
Yes, sir.
Maybe we listen to.
Got my own budget worksheets. I don't know if y'all have what I've got. I'll try to work up what you guys are looking at. And you'll notice I've got Sergeant Tidwell here tonight. It's his first budget meeting. I thought it would benefit us to have him to understand how this works too, in case I'm not available sometime. So in the police worksheet, let's skip out of salaries for now and let's just look at the budget items.
12 of 18.
Yeah, I'm on 12 of 18. I'm sorry.
Right, okay.
So, if we go all the way down, because we don't have a lot of control over a lot of this, Social Security, Medicare, unemployment, all that is based on the amount of money that's budgeted for wages. So let's just skip past wages and go to, maintenance supplies. And our budget this year is, it's lean. It was lean last year. I'm sure it'll be lean again this year. The building maintenance last year, we had $2,400. We're obviously going to exceed that this year, but I'd like to leave that at $2,400 because we do have some other maintenance things that needs to be done in the building. Not a lot, but we just changing out air filters and things like that gets expensive if you do it right. We have plumbing problems sometimes. Building's not old, but it's getting to where it needs some maintenance here and there. Vehicle maintenance last year we had 12,000. We have a newer fleet now. We could probably adjust that a little bit. We received a new vehicle this budget year. So we have a pretty good fleet right now. The oldest car we've got in the fleet is a 22. So we're wiper blades, oil changes, tires, brakes. It still gets expensive, but we could take a little cut from 12,000. We could cut that down a little bit. So that's something that we could negotiate on. Office supplies, you see that in here, that's at 2,400. It went down from 4,000, and that's fine. That's fine. We're okay there. Postage, software is a zero line item. We just don't really buy software. Small equipment and tools, we had 16,000 last year. He's cut that to 6,000 this year. And
Did we get our AEDs and?
No, sir, I'm still trying to buy those out of this year's budget. Sergeant Tidwell and I are working on that because we're trying not to buy refurbished. We've always had to buy refurbished in the past, and they're fine, they're certified. But I'm trying to find the cheapest. It looks like we're going to go with Zell. I think is the brand. And we'll get that done in this year's budget.
Okay.
But you're right, Mr. Greason, that's the budget line that we're gonna take that out of. General supplies, we're at 120, so that's we're not gonna save a whole lot of money there. Vehicle fuel, we've gone from 15 to 12, so we've taken a 20% cut there in fuel, or $3,000 in fuel. And that's, I mean, fuel, we don't have a lot of control over it. We can't control the price of fuel. We just have to kind of guess, because we kind of do the same things every day. You look at the mileage on the vehicles, everybody's kind of habitual. They drive the same amount of miles every day for the most part.
We're still buying it in bulk, right? The fuel.
No, sir, we buy fuel at the Shell station here, but we get a discount because we have a fleet card. I wish we had a tank. I've tried to think about where we could put a tank somewhere so we could have our own fuel in case of a hurricane, but there's just not a way to anchor it anywhere in the city that would be, I wish we could, but
Yeah.
if anybody has an idea, I'd love to try to look at that. We do have, Public Works does have a small tank over here for diesel, but we don't have one for police cars. Uniforms, we're at 3,600. Uniforms are expensive. One vest is $1,200. We hired a new reserve this last week, so we'll have to outfit him with the vest. So that'll be $1,200 out of that budget, or $1,000 out of that.
Good for
5 years, but the National Institute of Justice says 5 years is the life.
Okay.
Honestly, they're good after that, but nobody will let anybody wear them after that. It'd be a pretty bad mistake. The vehicle allowance is obviously gone. So that $18,000 is removed from the budget. And then prisoner services, telephone, cellular phones, all this is, it's pretty much set beforehand. Radio airtime, that's a bill that we pay once a year in October. So you'll see probably in November for the October council meeting, we would have expended 100% of that budget. And we never know how much it is till they bill us. They bill us per radio for airtime. But we always get pretty close on that. We can't control it. We rent airtime from the city of Houston. Utilities, electric, gas, we do pretty good there. We don't even leave the lights on in the building over there. It's always dark if you walk in there. Dues and subscriptions, we're fine there at 300. We don't have a lot of that. We just don't. We shouldn't have any bank service charges. We go down to child safety programs. The child safety programs, it's money that we receive, the city receives, that must be spent on child safety every year. It can't be spent on anything else. And we kind of predicted at 2,400. It's about what it is every year. And I'll expend most of that for National Night Out, buying things for kids. We've done things in the past, like we bought bicycle helmets one year. The officers to drive around and hand out to kids they saw riding bicycles or skateboards without a helmet. We bought stickers and put on them. Sometimes it's kind of hard to spend that money. I have bought child seats and given to people before, things like that. And by the way, that money can't be spent anywhere else. That's earmarked for that. So that's not something we can cut. Firearms qualifications, we went from 1,500 to 1,200. We used to pay somebody to do those. Now I do them all. Or John Ryan has done some of them with me. So we're doing that in-house now. The officers have to qualify once a year with the firearms they're going to carry on and off duty. And then they supposed to qualify at the shotgun and the rifle as well. Can get expensive with ammo.
Any other certifications that we left out?
Say again?
Is there any other certifications that we left out for the officer?
Not sure what you're asking, Mr. Grayson.
Well, they have to keep up their certification as a police officer, but is that just the firearms?
Every peace officer that works for a police department will have one of 4 different licenses. They'll either have a basic license, an intermediate license, an advanced license, or a master peace officer's license. So every one of us over there have a license that we have to keep up. This city does not pay for certifications. We're one out of only, there's probably 20% in the area that don't pay for that. But this city does not offer certifications for the police officers. property insurance and liability. We have a dispatch contract that's set. The maintenance agreement, we've taken to zero because we don't have that anymore. And then we keep a $1,200 contingency in there. We spent some of that money one time because we had to have some services from MHMR or one of the local mental health places that we had to take somebody to that charged them and they didn't pay, so we had to pay. But that happened several years ago, so $1,200 is adequate there. And then under the capital outlays, last year we had 85,000 for a police vehicle. And we spent more than that by the time we did everything with it, but not much more. The rest of the money, we just took out of vehicle maintenance. We had to, the vehicle that we get rid of, we have to pay to have the stripes taken off and things like that, which wasn't a lot, but it's money that had to be taken from somewhere. So that $85,000 is gone.
About selling it once we put it up for bid.
Already sold it. We sold that one last year, or I'm sorry, we sold that one a few months ago. The new one just got here 3 weeks ago. About a month ago, the new one got here, and then we auctioned the other one off.
Question, line item 6270, which is the mileage vehicle allowance. Is that where your vehicle allowance comes in?
Yes, ma'am. But when I was getting it, that's where it came from. And just so you know that,
Why is it zero?
well, it got taken out because I don't get it anymore.
So you don't get it as a police chief?
No, ma'am, and the reason I got the allowance to begin with was, I mean, most police chiefs, maybe not 100%, but most police chiefs have a take-home vehicle. And it's provided by the city. And the mayor and I sat down and talked about that, and you saw we just paid 85,000 for a vehicle. And by the time you add oil changes and everything else, the 18,000 a year will save the city $2,000 or $3,000 a year by me having the allowance for that. But it was tied into my contract. So when I was no longer the city manager and part-time police chief, that went away.
I don't agree with the zero. So I don't know if I can ask this. Was your contract renegotiated to be a certain dollar amount for police chief? Don't give me exact numbers, but like,
Like currently,
yes.
I do not have a contract. As a police chief, I've never had a contract. It wasn't until I was city manager that I received a contract.
So how much, or how do we know like how to pay you? Because with you being the dual roles and now that it's two split entities or two different positions, I guess that's where I'm having the disconnect.
When I resigned in April, that resignation at the time was a resignation from the city of Shoreacres as city manager, which included being the police chief too. I was called into a meeting by Mayor Jennings and Mayor Pro Tem McCowan soon after and asked if I would remain as the police chief. And I told them that that's all I ever wanted. I didn't, that's what I wanted to do, and I'd be happy to stay. So at that point, my salary was established at the same rate that I was already making as police chief. It was just for less hours. So that's how we arrived at that number.
Shouldn't there have been an amendment to your contract or a contract renewal or something to have everything set in stone that should have been voted on by council? I don't mean to be so nosy. I'm just trying to understand because something doesn't feel right.
I guess it goes back to, does this city want to require their police chief to have a contract? It benefits the city and the person, no doubt, but I was chief here for years without having a contract.
Okay.
And it wasn't until I was city manager that I received the contract, but the contract does allow for both sides to know exactly what the understanding is. And I'm certainly not opposed to that, but it just wasn't something that was offered after I resigned.
Okay.
Hey, Troy, quick question. What is outside services PD?
That would be like, our IT provider, when we have computer problems or we need to have software updated or firmware updated, things would be some of that.
Okay.
Was that the new radios and that, or is that just the city computers we have?
No, that, in this year's budget, that just included the annual cost of our work on our computers and network and things. We have,
Okay.
we have things like with this audit that's coming up. We want somebody to look at our computers and make sure that we fit all the guidelines, because the screens have to shut off after a certain time and things like that. So we check it, and then we have somebody come in and double check it before we have the audit to make sure that we're in compliance.
Okay. Before we end our budget meeting, suggest we give it to Troy and see about whether we want to do a contract or for his services, chief.
We'll have to call an executive session where we can all talk about it, but I can't do anything until Monday's meeting. Because I'll have to send out a notification today to get that on the Monday agenda.
Yeah, I think you're behind the 8 ball on that already, though, because the meeting starts at 6 o'clock Monday night, and we're past 6 o'clock on what is today's Tuesday. So I think you've missed an opportunity.
It's 72,
3
3 days prior.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got time by Thursday.
Of time.
Friday.
Yeah, I think Thursday's the deadline.
After this, we're good.
Yeah.
And we can discuss it.
What could change September 1st to 3 days prior to,
Yeah.
It's been 3 days.
It's always been
72 hours.
72 hours.
Oh, sorry, 3 business days.
Yeah, it's always been
Yeah.
business.
That way,
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
so it has to be Wednesday instead of Friday.
I do not even know what day it is. All day long.
I know, I'm good.
Next month in a week, anyhow.
Don't even-
That's all we know, I just. Yes.
Utility and maintenance.
If you have any questions about anything else, I was active in all of this until July. So if there's a question I can answer about something else, I'll do my best to answer it for you.
Okay. The only other one I would look at would be utilities. And that's where our other part of the money is at. We do have revenues from utilities for, but I can find it here.
Vernon, did you make another stuff for utilities?
Yes. I'll take one down.
Utility fund is a different, all right.
Right in my pack.
Tommy, y'all all have one of these utilities.
Yes. Question is, now, do you have one?
Your chief,
I do now.
I couldn't find the color button.
Certificate.
There was one over here. Sorry.
Did we sell off the slope mower?
Not yet. We still have the smoke mower. It's from what I heard, well, I know it needs repairs. I don't know that dollar amount, but it's badly in need of repairs.
Well, I don't think we want to go back to it, period, as far as I'm concerned. It tears, I don't think we want to go back to it. We want to, get rid of it and then keep our grass mowing, now it's Yellow Jacket, I think it's doing.
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone. Uh, We have equipment maintenance in there of $9,000, and that's probably good for our, we've got how many pieces of equipment now? We still have the backhoe, we have the,
A backhoe and a mini excavator and a vehicle. But we also have chainsaws and other things that aren't big items, but when a storm comes, you know, buying new blades and things like that add up.
now we have printed and billing supplies. Is that the water bills that are sent out, $16,000?
Yes,
That's outsourced now.
it's, I don't know how that's accounted for in this budget, but that has changed recently in how we used to do business.
Is this 6,000, 16,000 valid anymore then? Can you check into that?
I will.
Okay.
I
That's
don't
yours.
have that budget.
You don't have a copy of this budget?
Oh, I gave it to Chief.
Here, you can have it back.
Oh, you're good.
Sure.
I'll write my notes here.
Okay.
That was on the, what line item was that?
It's on page 5 of 8 and it is line item 6234.
It's the bill.
Give it, Brian, I'll hold on my line.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so that's the one, general supplies. 1,200 weed. What's weed control? It's not our contract, is it? Zero in it?
Where are you looking, Mr. Grayson?
That was on park, wasn't
Page, well, it's maintenance
I need a
supplies.
number.
Page 2 of 8.
Oh,
it? And that same bigger.
5255, right at the bottom of the page, says weed control.
well, there was zero in there, so that's accounted for in some other place. A lot of these line items have been zeroed out through the years because they get put somewhere else.
And that's fine, as long as we want to maintain that, looking at the city, here lately, it looks real good. And we want to keep it that way. We're trying to make sure that we've got money in the budget to do that. Weeds and everything, at least for the ditches, so we can do two things. Take care of flood, plus the looks of the city is a whole lot better.
And I believe that in the contract at Yellowstone, I haven't seen the contract, but I believe that they're now doing the parks like all this over here in the waterfront, the lift stations, the water plants, along with the ditches. I think they're doing all of it now. So now we have, and I know Felicia sat in on those meetings, I think. So I think that's a one shot thing.
Is it? Okay, you have a con, probably, right?
No, but I can get it.
Let's get it so we can look at it and make sure. No, they do the roads, it's for the county. Oh, that's
It did. It would help us.
comparison, the county roads that they do is not in our contract, right?
No, sir. You may see them doing them because Yellowstone's who the county already contracts with. But they're responsible for Shoreacres Boulevard for most of it from the freeway and to the circle right there. And then they have Sunrise from Fairfield to Baywood.
Oh, okay. And then what about, let's see, what is it, the 146, the old 146?
South Broadway is TxDOT.
Is that, all that's fixed?
That's TxDOT. And they mow very well, but they're horrible at weed eating.
Yeah, I
And
noticed
tree
that.
trimming.
That's ours for the most part.
Who are right here? There are two, there's the one that was over here was on the end of this page, 255.
Hey, Troy, can you explain surface water purchase?
Yeah, so we purchase all of our water through the LaPorte Water Authority. The LaPorte Water Authority is its own entity that Morgan's Point, Shoreacres, and LaPorte all purchase our water through. We pay for the water, and we also pay a capital improvement fee so that when there are repairs and things like that that need to be made, they make those repairs, and then we don't get charged independently. They come out of that consortium of those three cities.
Okay.
And then, of course, we have, that's for the water we purchase from LaPorte, and then we have our own wells that we use occasionally.
Okay, so the difference between that versus outside water services?
What's the question?
What is outside water services then for 90,000?
That, I'm sure, is David Sutton's contract with IUO.
Okay,
They're our operation company that has the water and sewer licenses.
yes, sir.
They come and check our meters once a day, 365 days a year, and they're the ones who make the vast majority of our water and sewer line repairs. Unless it's something that is above what they can do.
Okay.
They've been very good at it to this point, so we're very happy with what they're doing.
He has a lot of institutional knowledge because he was our public works director for several years.
And Troy, we were discussing well water versus our outside purchase of water. We're really required mostly to stay on surface water. That came up a long time ago when they took us off the wells. We have those as an emergency backup, and we're limited to a certain amount. But that's the only time we really use well water anymore because of subsidence that had started in different areas, pulling all the water out. My opinion, it wasn't us, it was all these big plants that pull all the water out of the wells. Now they're all on surface water too.
And you'll remember that up until about 2 years ago, we only had one take point from LaPorte Water Authority. We took all the water into the water plant at the front of the city. 100% of our water came from there that went into our ground storage tanks. And then when we borrowed the $4.5 million from the Texas Water Development Board, one of the projects that we completed in the last few years was we had a second water line that now comes from the water tower right here that comes into this water plant. So now we have two. Beforehand, if we had a problem up there, we had to shut water off and go to groundwater. I mean, go to wells. Now, if we have a problem, we just go to this plant. So that's helped a lot. The last city council meeting in David Sutton's report, I think if you looked, we've used 0% of our groundwater that we're permitted for this year. That's good. Yes, that's great.
Okay, do you know of anything that we need to add to the budget for the utilities?
I did not get this until I got here, so I haven't looked at it, but I would remind you, I don't know if it's built in here or not, but fire protection's going up 15%.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like a lot, but when we pay as much as we do, that's a substantial amount. I think it's upwards of a $75,000 increase or something, 75,000 a year.
I just looked at that to see. Also, we have the new ambulance service that we're having this year, which is really a ambulance service, not a bus driver. So,
And in last year's budget, we continue to use Windsor until February the 1st. So October, November, December, January, February. So 4 months out of that year. So 33% of the year, we were only paying 48,000. And then starting February 1st, we went to the new rate, which was 150,000, something like that, 190,000. I didn't bring it, but It was substantial. It was 190,000.
Yeah.
But it went up 150,000. So this year we'll have to have 12 months at that rate.
Yeah, I just seen it here about that.
It's under admin.
Yeah, our fire protection is now, it was our budget was a 165,000. And the budget this year is 252,000 for fire protection. And then last year, our emergency medical was only 154,000. Now it's a 189. Oh, it was actually less than that. 24 was 123,000. And that's the one you were talking about. We went part of the year.
We split the year.
Yeah.
But on page 1 of 18, on the general fund, when you see public safety, that's 56% of our entire budget, which is a lot of money, and that's in fire, police, and EMS. So that's not just police in there. That includes all three.
Okay. Now, as far as the courts go, I haven't looked at those, but last time I talked to the mayor, he said that those were almost revenue neutral. In other words, our tickets and stuff, we're paying for the judges, prosecutor, and those. So I'd have to take another look at that to see, because I didn't look at those this time. And unless you've looked at it.
I haven't.
Anybody else? Look at the.
I'll say,
I'm looking here at it, we've got, last year we had, $1,200 in for court security. What was that? Is that part of the police or is?
So when a citation, when a judge finds a defendant guilty, or whether he does some other thing, so much for that citation, so much of the money, so much of the fines that's paid goes to a pile that comes back to us in the form of either court security or court technology. Bernie may know the amount, or Diane may know the amount of that. It's not a whole lot.
In technology.
Yes, ma'am.
$4 and then $4.70.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot. We don't get rich from it for sure, but they come back and then that money's got to be spent. So when we have to pay sergeant overtime to work in here or something, that's something, I bought body cameras with that money before for court technology, because we use body cameras way more than we use the cameras in the vehicles for this type of stuff for court.
Excuse me, thank you.
Page 3 of 18. Page 2 of 18.
75,000 for, and, yeah. Well, just work it. Page was that one? We were just looking at it. 70. Paying 184,915. We're thinking that we're gonna have
175 for.
they are coming up a little short.
Service fees. Merchant service fees, 3,600, what's that in school?
Those are service fees for the use of the bank card. There's the name for those, where you plug the card into.
E-cards.
Well, the
Card reader?
Terminals.
card reader.
Credit card terminals.
Okay.
Hey, Troy, is there a way that we could pass that fee on to the person using the card?
I'm sure we do that. So you have to remember, Chuck, that when the way these budgets are written, you have to account for your income and your revenue and your expenditure. So it comes in under a cost in expenses, but it's also collected as an income under revenue.
Okay.
Same way with fines. You see whatever the number is, say $150,000 comes in revenue for fines, but that doesn't mean the city makes 150,000, because 130,000 of that's paid right out to the state.
Right.
But the city does not make money on traffic enforcement. To correct negative driving behaviors.
So I think with this information, we're gonna have to call another budget meeting.
Have one for next Tuesday.
Do you know if we have another meeting for next Tuesday? Monday?
We had set 3. We canceled last week. We had tonight, and I thought we had one on September the 9th. I left my phone somewhere.
They call
Don't even have my number, thank goodness.
Next Tuesday.
Oh, maybe maybe the mayor and I talked about it, and I thought that was the intent. We have a regular schedule, so sometimes we have done the budget meeting prior to the regular meeting on Monday nights as well. Everybody could make it at 5, and then the regular meeting starts at 6. But that's up to y'all.
Works for me. But I have to put it in the email, correct?
Yes, right away.
At 5 p.m.
There's 15th September. September.
The 8th, 5.
Yes, okay, she knows that. I showed it to her.
Okay. Plus, I guess it's time to kind of look at his changes and trying to figure out what he's done since he's non-responsive.
Yep.
Are we good for now, or? That way we can end this meeting and I can get this email sent out. I feel like we got the police department lined out to an extent, so we understand that part. We just have to dig into the city side of it.
We're gonna have to have our revenue projections. That's gonna be the big thing, is from the Harris County Appraisal District. We need to know what those numbers look like, because our whole budget goes off, is derived from those numbers.
So all the budgets you want, but if you don't have money to pay for it.
And then, at some point you decide if they say you're gonna collect $2 million, you're not gonna collect that. You're gonna have some that don't pay. So you really can't count on collecting 100% of it. So the mayor and I have normally operated off like 97%. We plan on collecting 97%. So that cuts some of that too.
Historically,
Yes, sir.
that's what happens.
Yes, well, we want to make sure that we're being cautious. We don't want to say we're going to bring in $2 million, we bring in 1.6 and we're at a $400,000 deficit right away.
Under promise and over deliver.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's correct. We did get a copy of it, but it's one of those that usually the mayor goes through to tell us what value we receive, what estimate is actually going to be.
So this will-
And use,
This a roundabout of a week delay.
to get it.
Figure this out.
I only look at those other ones. Mayor usually goes through that. Plus, we still have some outstanding debt obligation on it for the bond.
Yes, sir. We're
200.
just getting started on that. We borrowed that money in 2017, I believe. First note was due in 2018.
Right.
I may be 1 year off, it's right there, so still have several years on that.
You remember how much that was each year? 250.
Something like that. It's a whole lot of money.
We usually take that as when we do the revenue bringing in, we have that as sinking so that it's always in there to pay that debt obligation. So next time maybe we can look at those specifically. Since we've covered police, utility, judges and or
Ambulance service and fire.
fire. And then check to see, because our old rate last year, was, I believe, was the 185,013 was the max, no new rate. I think our adopted tax rate was actually 0.82094, if I'm not mistaken. Sounds kind of right. But I have to look at this a little bit more to do it. Usually the mayor goes through that. And if you've ever looked at one of these things, it's like any tax, this is confusing. Somebody shaking their head, yeah.
I've seen it before.
That's in ours today.
I was on council before.
Can we ask questions?
Yes.
Or say that aloud. In a budget meeting like this.
I'm gonna say, so I mean, we're in a budget session. I mean, as long as it's nothing like,
We're not supposed to.
Oh,
That's what the rule was.
okay, I didn't know. I was just
We could just come and observe, but we weren't allowed to.
Budget meetings?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're supposed to figure it out, but hopefully
You can ask them.
we've gone through some of it, and then we'll try this next time if y'all will show
What
up.
if it's not about the budget?
We can't accept, we can't.
Okay.
we had to be on first.
Okay.
We
Afterwards.
would have to put it on the.
That's
agenda.
good.
All right.
And I didn't answer you.
Okay. Everything was just a little strange today.
Yeah, I know, we're just waiting.
Okay. Yeah.
Right, so I'm gonna say at 6:55, we're ending our budget session. We don't need to vote on this, correct? All right,
I would do it just for record's sake.
Motion to adjourn.
thank you.
I don't think you have to.
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you.